everyone. How do you do? I do believe everyone is keeping fine. So my dear students, welcome back to this new video. And class 7 students, this is for you. Today I am here with the remaining portion of the previous class. As you know, last time in the last class I explained the comprehension section, and the questions were explained and answers were also read out. At the same time, answers were uploaded in the WhatsApp. So some portion remained, and today I'm here with that portion, and I would like to make you open your book on page 49. So today B, read the lines from the passage and answer the questions with reference to the context. My dear students, this is B, and here a reference to the context questions are given there. Okay, you have been given some reference and followed by some questions which is to be answered by reading that given reference. So my dear students, let's begin. So B1, your first reference is Puck answered that it was a genuine mistake, but he was not sorry it had happened, as he found the lovers' quarrels most amusing. My dear students, as you all know the role of Puck, okay? Actually, because of his great mistake, many things happened in the play. So it came to know that Puck had done some great mistake. That's why somebody instructed him to correct this one, but he did not want to correct it, as he loved such things. Okay, as he loved making prank on people, as he loved to create confusion, conflict. Okay, that's why he enjoyed actually the quarrels between the lovers. That's why he did not want to correct it. And questions, you have been given 4 questions, A, B, C, D. Your first question is, who was Puck? And my dear students, I know you know the answer of this question, who was Puck. Many times it was told in between the play, even in part 1 and part 2, it was told about Puck. Puck was introduced. So first question is, who was Puck? Anyway, let me read the given answer. Puck was King Oberon's right-hand man. This is one answer. Actually, this such question carries single mark. That's why you can write answer in just a single sentence. So, Puck was King Oberon's right-hand man. Or instead of this, you can write Puck was a mischievous fairy. Okay? These two sentences, as I have told you, any one of these two can be written as the answer of this question. Okay? Puck was King Oberon's right-hand man, or you can write Puck was a mischievous fairy. Both are correct, but you need to write any one of these two. So dear students, next question is, what had he been instructed to do and by whom? You know, Puck was instructed to do something, and the instruction was given by somebody else. So now question is, what was that instruction? At the same time, who gave that instruction to Puck? So here, I know you all know this answer, as I explained you the play very nicely. I hope you understood it. Anyway, let me read out this answer of this question. He had been instructed by Oberon to put the juice on Demetrius' eyes so that he would love Helena. Dear students, I won't repeat the play, but you know, Puck was instructed to put the juice of that love of idleness flower on Demetrius' eyelids so that Demetrius would love Helena. Okay, he was instructed. And who gave this instruction? As you know, the king of the fairies, Oberon, gave this instruction to Puck. Okay, let me repeat. Puck was instructed by the king of the fairies, Oberon, to put the juice of that love of idleness flower on Demetrius' eyelids, so that Demetrius would love Helena. So this is very simple answer, and I hope you got it, and I hope you can even make answer of this question by yourself. And let's proceed to the next question. Next question here, question number C. What genuine mistake had he made? Very simple question, at the same time very important question. What genuine mistake had he made? Here he refers to Puck. What genuine mistake Puck had made? And you all know what's the mistake? Let me read out. The mistake was that he had put the juice on Lysander's eyes and not Demetrius. Yes, my dear students, this was the genuine mistake that Puck had made. Actually, he was instructed to put the juice of that love of idleness flower on Demetrius' eyelid, but he had put it on whose eyelids? Lysander's eyelids. So this was the great mistake done by Puck. I hope you got it. And the final question of this reference is given here, question number D. Why was Puck amused by the quarreling lovers? Why was Puck amused by the quarreling lovers? And in the story, in the play, we can see there was a time when the lovers started quarreling and fighting. Helena and Hermia started quarreling, and Lysander and Demetrius started fighting. But it didn't hurt Puck. But Puck was pleased to see all this between the lovers. But why? Why was Puck pleased to see all this? So here is your answer. Puck was a playful and mischievous sprite, and the quarreling lovers was entertaining for him. So as I told you, when Puck was introduced in the play, it was said that Puck was a mischievous fairy. So he actually liked seeing people fighting, quarreling, and he is pleased because of this all things. Actually he liked to have this. That is why he was pleased. Understand? Even if he knew that he had done some great mistake, then also he was not worried about that. But he was pleased by seeing, or he was amused by seeing all these things. Because he was a mischievous fairy, playful fairy. That is why he liked this one. So my dear students, these are the answers of the first reference and the answers of these 4 questions. I hope you got it. Now dear students, let's move to the next question, next reference. Your next reference is: the fairy king and queen took great pleasure in this happy ending of the lover's story, brought about by the kindness of Oberon. And as you know, my dear students, the ending of the play is happy ending. It has a happy ending. Happy ending because of the intervention of the king of the fairies, Oberon. And this is the reference, and 4 questions are there. First question, number A: who were the lovers? You all know who are the lovers. Hermia and Lysander, and Helena and Demetrius. Got it? Hermia, Lysander, and Helena, Demetrius. These were the lovers. And then B, question number B: what happy ending did their story have? So what is the happy ending? As I told you, the story has a happy ending, and you came to know what is the happy ending. So here is your answer. The happy ending is that Each pair had found their true and correct love, and they ended up marrying their partners. So this is the happy ending, my dear students. Each pair had found their true and correct love, and they ended up marrying their partners. So that is the happy ending. Finally they found their true and correct love, and then they decided to get married, to each other. So this is the happy ending of the play. So now question number C. What kindness of Oberon had brought about such an ending? And the play has a happy ending, as I told you, because of the intervention of the king of the fairies, Oberon, because of his kindness. But what was his kindness? Let's get the answer. The effect of the love juice that resulted in Demetrius loving Helena. What was his kindness? Oberon's kindness was that actually Demetrius did not want to marry Helena, but Helena wanted Demetrius to marry her. So Oberon felt pity on Helena, and he instructed to put the love of idleness juice, flowers juice, on Demetrius' eyelids. And finally it was done, it was put, and because of that Demetrius got ready to marry Helena. Demetrius started claiming the truest love for Helena. So this happened. This was possible because of the kindness of the King Oberon. So this was the kindness of King Oberon. And dear students, the final question of deference number 2, question number D. How did the fairy king and queen decide to honor the lovers? My dear students, finally the play ended with a happy ending, and the queen and the king decide to honor the lovers. But how did they decide, and how will they decide, or how will they honor the lovers? So here is the answer. They decided to honor the lovers by celebrating the wedding with sports and revels throughout the fairy kingdom. Understood? So the queen and the king decided to celebrate their wedding or wedding ceremony of these lovers, by with sports and revels throughout the fairy kingdom. The king and queen will arrange for some sports and revels in their kingdom, in their kingdom, in the name of the wedding ceremony of these lovers. So this was the way of honoring the two lovers. So my dear students, in this B, only 2 references were there, which has 4 questions. Each has 4 questions. So I have already explained the question, and even I have read out the answers, and I hope you understood it. So that's all of this reference to the reference to that context. Now my dear students, let's move on to the next question. Next type of question is discuss these questions in class. Question number C on the same page. First question, discuss the character of Puck. So how will you discuss the character of Puck? Very simple. Main character of Puck is to be discussed like this. Puck is the right hand man of the King Oberon, who is mischievous, intelligent, obedient, and he likes pranks, but he is a good-hearted one. The 4 lovers were mainly manipulated by Puck and created conflicts and confusions between the lovers. My dear students, it was this question asked the character of Puck, and as you know, Puck was just a mischievous fairy. He was the right hand of the King Oberon, but at the same time he has a kind heart. He has a kind-hearted fairy, even if he liked all these things to create confusion and conflicts among the people, but he has a kind-hearted, or he is a kind-hearted fairy. So this is just about the character of Puck. And I hope you all can write the answer to this question if you have gone through this play properly. Okay, there is many way of talking about the roles of or the character of Puck. So I hope you got it and you can do. And question number 2, Oberon and Puck are equally responsible for the strange events that occurred that night. Do you agree? Give reasons. Actually, this is direct question to you. Okay? After understanding the play only you can answer this question. The question asks, Oberon at the same time Puck, both are equally responsible for all these things what happened. Okay? Do you agree? It is asked to you. It is asked to you. Do you agree? If yes, then also give reason, and if no, then also you need to give reason for that. So my dear students, and I have written some answer here. You can just have idea of this answer, or you can just take this answer as your answer also. And my answer is yes. Oberon and Puck are equally responsible for the strange events. Even though Puck seemed to make a great mistake for which the lovers suffered, but both the King Oberon and Puck himself are equally responsible for that. Because Oberon shouldn't have interfered and Puck shouldn't have made a mistake. Correct? That is why both are equally responsible for these things, okay? For the suffering of these lovers. How? Puck was instructed and Puck did his job, but unknowingly he had done some mistake. Okay, and why both are equally responsible here? Because the king shouldn't have interfered. Okay, he shouldn't have interfered in the matter of these lovers. Okay, that was his first fault. The king shouldn't have interfered. At the same time, the Puck was instructed, but he must have done some kind of justice. Okay, he must have checked these things out properly, and that was his mistake. That's why not only Puck, but also the King Oberon, each was responsible. Both are equally responsible. That is why we can say. So this is my answer, and you can have this answer as yours also. And if you want to have another answer, if you don't agree with this, then you can just say no. But please show the reason. Okay. So this is, it depends on you. So dear students, I hope you understanding this thing what I'm saying, I'm trying to say. And the third question given here is, the happy ending of the lovers' stories would not have been possible without the kindness of Oberon. Comment. So my dear students, same questions. As I told you, the play has a happy ending, but it wouldn't have been possible. Okay, if the King Oberon's kindness was not there, if he didn't show his kindness. It was possible because of his kindness. And you are asked to comment there. You have to give your comment. You have to write your answer. And I have written few sentences. I'll just read out. And please, I hope you will understand and you will be able to write. Puck poured the juice of the love flower on Lysander's eyelids by mistake. And when the King Oberon came to know this, he again instructed Puck to put the juice on Demetrius' eyelids and to drop the juice of other flower on Lysander's eyelids, so that everything would solve. And accordingly things were done. Otherwise Demetrius would not have wanted to be with Helena, and they would all be fighting. Maybe Hermia might have been caught. And the most important thing, this all happened because of the kindness of the King Oberon. My dear students, as you know, the play seemed to be so tragedy. Okay, and people were perhaps feeling pity on these all lovers, and it was seemed not possible to settle these things. But finally, it was made possible because of that King Oberon. Okay, and how he did this one, as you know, King Oberon came to know Puck had done something great mistake. That's why he was instructed again to do all these things. Okay, and accordingly who did all things, and finally things were settled. That is why this all things happened because of the intervention of the king, at the same time because of his kindness. So this is the comment. You can write, okay, many words. It can be written in about 100 or 200 words also. But to answer this question, my dear students, you must have gone through the play. You must have understood the play properly, okay? And the role of each character. And then only you will be able to write. And I hope you have already completed. So I hope you can compose things. So dear students, so these were 3 questions of question number C. Discuss the questions in class. So you will be getting the PDF file of this answer. It will be uploaded. At the same time, please go through this video and just try to understand the question also. And the next, my dear students, here you have been given words and sounds. This is just for correct pronunciation. You need to go through this one and try to pronounce the word correctly. As let me read once. The question is, read aloud the following phrases with correct pronunciation and stress. In order to give stress and how to pronounce the word for your correct pronunciation, these things are given there. And given phrases are powerful charm, quarrel bitterly, genuine mistake, silly infatuation, former mistake, clouded reason, bewildering dreams, and joyfully agreed. So these are 8 phrases. Please try to pronounce these phrases correctly. And then next, you have been given word perfect. In this section, my dear students, you are introduced with the comma. Comma, okay, the proper uses of comma, how to use comma and when to use comma. As you know, comma, full stop, these all called punctuation mark, or these are called punctuation. So you are just you are just taught in this section with the correct uses of comma. And you have been given to indicate the person spoken to show a sequence of action, to separate words in a list of nouns or adjectives, to separate phrases beginning with the present participle before nouns closely related to each other. So you have been given these rules of using comma. So this is grammar section, my dear students. And as you all know, the common uses of comma, we just use comma to separate the items, okay, which is in the same list. Okay, so just understand like this, and just you must have some close look of the given what call these points also. So anyway, and immediately after that, question is given there, and you are asked to separate the items with that comma. So the answer of this thing also will be uploaded. I just don't read this thing now, and your soft answer you will be getting. It will be uploaded immediately after this video. So my dear students, these are the main thing which were left out in the first video. So today I have tried to complete it, and it is completed, and I hope you have understood, and you have understood, and you will be able to do all these things. I do believe so. And finally, on page 50, my dear students, you have one more question, think and write. You can see, A Midsummer Night's Dream is an appropriate title for the play, as the events that take place in the wood are like the happenings in a dream. Write a 200-word essay supporting the above statement. So my dear students, here actually you are asked to write about the play, and just you have to see whether the name of the play or the title of the play is suitable or not, and if it is suitable, then how. Just try to answer this, okay? And according to me, it is suitable because all these things happened in real, but when they woke up, it seemed to be like a bad dream for all of them, isn't it? So it was seen that these things were happening in the dream for them. That's why this is suitable. So please write in about 200 words. You have been given the words limit also, and please compose. This is called essay type of questions. You must answer this question, okay? So please try, and I believe and I know you will be able to write the answer of this question. No problem at all. So my dear students, that's all of this chapter number 9, A Midsummer Night's Dream Part 2 play. So I hope you have understood it, and please, I have given all these things. You please note it down in your notebook, and please go through this and just to be ready for the examination. So this video has already been long, so please let's not make it longer, and if any problem let me know, as I have already told you, I've been telling you these things. So that's all for the day. So see you in the next video. Thank you.